Good morning, children. Today we will discuss about the majoritarianism in Sri Lanka. As we know that Sri Lanka emerged as an independent country in 1948, Sri Lankan government formed a democratic government. Mostly we know that when a democracy is formed or democracy is followed, there is a form of government which is majority. And the leaders of the Sinhala community, they wanted to secure dominance over the other people. Who are the other people? The Indian Tamils and Sri Lankan Tamils. They are only 18%. There are 74% of the people are Sinhalese, so that they formed a majoritarian government. So also when the majoritarian government was formed, as a result the democratically elected government, they adopted a series of majoritarian measures to establish Sinhala supremacy. Sinhalese wanted to dominate over the Tamils there. In 1956, an act was passed. They prepared an act which was passed in 1956. They recognized Sinhala as the only official language, disregarding the Tamil. So that the government followed preferential policies that favored only Sinhala community or the Sinhala applicants for the university positions and even government jobs. A new constitution also prepared or stipulated that a state shall protect and foster Buddhism. We know that Sinhala community followed Buddhism, but the Tamils, who were the Indian and Sri Lankan Tamils, they followed Hinduism, Islam, and even 7% of Christianity also existed there. But only the government promoted Buddhism. So these all the measures taken by the government alienated the Sri Lankan and Indian Tamils there. They felt that this community or the Tamil community felt that the constitution or government policies denied them equal political rights, also discriminated against them in getting jobs and opportunities, and ignored their interests. These Indians and Indian Tamils and Sri Lankan Tamils were not given any type of rights there. As a result, there was a relation spoiled between the Tamils and the Sri Lankan people. So that there was a tension between the both communities, like the Sinhala communities and Tamil. So Sri Lankan government also formed such kind of discriminatory measures against the Tamils, so that the Sri Lankan Tamils launched many political parties also, and struggles began for the recognition of Tamil as an official language. So the Tamils wanted to make Tamil also an official language of Sri Lanka. For the also they wanted regional autonomy. Autonomy means independence on the. We have already studied that northeastern part of Sri Lanka was completely occupied by the Tamil people. So these Tamils wanted an autonomy or independent state on the northeastern part of Sri Lanka. Also they wanted to get equality of opportunity in securing education and jobs. For that purpose, they formed many types of organizations. Political organizations were formed in 1980s. 1980s political organizations formed demanding that an independent Tamil Eelam means state, an independent Tamil state or Eelam they wanted to create there. So in the northeastern part of Sri Lanka, as the majority of people are the Tamils, they wanted a separate state for the Tamils in this region. Soon there started a civil war between the two communities of Sinhalese and the Tamils. In the war, many people were killed from both communities. Many families were also forced to leave the country as refugees, and many more lost their livelihoods. As we know that Sri Lanka had an excellent record of economic development, education and health, but the civil war completely terrible causes of a setback in the social, cultural, economic life of the country. Completely spoiled their economic development, education, health, everything. So this civil war ended in 2009.